This is community activist Deric Muhammad, and you are watching Willie D Live.
So let's talk about this double standard, whereas when black people kill each other or do any harm to each other, there's always a penalty to pay if you catch up with the perpetrator. But when a white person commits a crime against a black person, it takes God to come down here and say you're wrong. God got to come down here and walk and tap and sit down and hold a meeting and say, hey, listen, man, we got to do something about this.
And if the perpetrator is a police officer, it takes more than God.
Yeah.
It takes more than God. Police officers do not pay the price for breaking the law that they swore to uphold. We do. And that's the imbalance in this country that has literally tipped the scales. And people keep saying things like, if one more black person gets killed by a police officer, this country is going to turn itself upside down. We don't need another one. If one more person gets killed by a police officer and that officer doesn't pay the price, there's going to be a race war. We already in it. It's happening right now. Did you see the dude go kamikaze up in Dallas? Mm-hmm. And see, this is the math. This is the math. A shame those officers lost their lives in Dallas and then Baton Rouge, okay? But look at it. 1 + 1 = 2. This is math. If Alton Sterling had not gotten shot in Baton Rouge, then you put a plus sign there. If Philando Castile had not gotten shot and killed in the car with his 4-year-old baby in Minnesota, nobody would have even been protesting in Dallas for anybody to even shoot those cops and kill those cops that got shot. I don't see what's so difficult about that to understand. Mm-hmm. This plus this leads to this. So if you don't begin to change what's on the other side of this equation, you just begging for trouble.
Well, and I think to take that even further is that it's also the lack of justice, the lack of prosecution for all the artists. I mean, not artists, but all of the cops who've been doing all this killing. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's getting prosecuted. Nobody's getting convicted. This, more than anything, because I really do believe even if Alton Sterling hadn't gotten shot and Philando Castile out of Minnesota had gotten shot and people had an idea or had an expectation that there would be some form of justice, you wouldn't have had the situation in Dallas. I do believe that if you had cops paying the price when they step outside of the line, when they violate people's rights, when they brutalize people, mm-hmm. when they just go out and murder. I think if they were being convicted, if they were paying the price, if there were ramifications for their actions, you wouldn't have cops out here doing it, because these cops are just like other people. They don't want to go to jail. Right. They don't want to sit in jail. Right. They don't want to be, and I do believe cops should be executed when they execute people illegally. They should be executed. There's nothing wrong with killing a dirty cop. You say if the cop dirty, he clean the streets up. It's like you said. You can't clean the streets up with dirty cops. Remember you said that, right? You can't clean the streets up with dirty cops. Right. Okay, so you got a bunch of dirty cops out there running around talking about they're cleaning the streets up. Right. Just as you cannot clean a dirty floor with a dirty mop, you can't clean the streets with dirty cops. Exactly. Damn, that rhymed. Don't try to take my job. That's what I do. You the activist.
Slowly but surely.
It rubs off a little bit, bro.
That was live. Write that down. Oh no, we got to record it. But man, it's like people. It's like they don't see that little. It's like, I don't know if people dumb as hell or what. If we that retarded as a people in America. I don't get it, how they don't get that if these cops keep killing people and getting off, it's gonna be some retaliation. People going to start killing cops. And how do you think that people are going to continue to respect law enforcement. If law enforcement don't respect the people, you can't have it both ways.
Right.
You cannot disrespect me and think I'm going to respect you.
Just because you
No,
have a
I
badge.
don't respect the badge. No, I don't respect your fucking uniform because you don't respect me. You know, it takes respect to get respect. You got to give respect to get respect. And people are not being respected, and it's this arrogance that many people in law enforcement have, that we're going to do whatever we want to do anyway. Now, I've even seen people, heard people say things like, well, bring it on. Oh, it's on a war? You want a war? Well, bring it on. Okay, do you really want that to happen? Because one thing that I do know about America is Americans don't like getting killed. They like doing the killing. They don't like getting killed. I know that for a fact. It's just like when we had the situation in Iraq when the Twin Towers got knocked down. Mm-hmm. Everybody was so quick to go out there to Iraq and kill Saddam Hussein and kick some Iraqi ass. Till them Iraqis start chopping off them motherfucking heads.
Then it
was, oh Lord, why they got us out here? The president is incompetent. He don't know what he's doing. We're out here fighting an unjust war. I just want to go home. They crying. Their family members is crying now. See, they felt them Iraqis' pain. Yes. The family members are crying. You know, the soldiers are crying. They feel that pain. See, sometimes people gotta feel they gotta feel that pain of others in order for them to respect others.
And right now, Will, I believe that many in the law enforcement community are starting to feel it. Something you said at our press conference the other day. You said, unfortunately, this country doesn't respect but two things. What'd you say?
Bloodshed and money.
Bloodshed and money. Bloodshed and money. And that's part of the economic withdrawal, supporting black businesses and supporting black banks. We're going to make them respect our money. However, what happened to those cops in Dallas and what happened to those police officers in Baton Rouge, as unfortunate as it is, they want to come to the table and talk now, because it's exposing this country for who it is she really is, particularly law enforcement. Now, after all of the turmoil that's already been going on in this doggone nation, just over the past 2 weeks, you have a behavioral therapist
that was cold-blooded, man.
Counseling an autistic child in the middle of the street. Police come, draw down on the child and the therapist. Neither are armed. Child has a toy truck in his arm.
Was that a child? I thought it was.
No,
it was a toy truck.
It was a grown man, but he was autistic.
He was a grown man, right?
Was he grown? Okay,
yeah,
grown man. But in a childlike state.
And the cop said he was aiming at the autistic guy.
No, I thought it was a child.
It was a man.
It was a man.
Here's the thing. The therapist was laying on his back with his hands up. Man, can you get any more compliant? And when he had his hands up, he never wavered. And
he never
dropped his hand. He never flinched, never moved.
I know what happened to Mike Brown. Talked. I know what happened to Alton Sterling. I know what happened to. I know. I'm gonna lay on my back
and raise my hand.
And he still got shot.
And he still shot him.
And he asked the police officer, "Why did you shoot me?"
And he said, "I don't know."
And he said, "I don't know." And see,
I said to myself, that one encounter sums up our 461-year sojourn in this country. Why did you kill me, man? I don't know.
Well, I think maybe it has something to do with what you were saying. I remember you did an interview. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was, but I saw you do an interview once, and you said that if you continue to watch news and you turn on television and you see black men portrayed as thugs and killers and bank robbers, and that's all you see, pretty soon you're going to think that's all black men are about. Mm-hmm. And even if you're black, you're going to be suspicious of black men. Mm-hmm. That was powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What happens is it programs your mind. So this officer's got his gun trained on a behavioral therapist, and he sees he's not a threat, But in his mind, he's thinking if there's 0.1% chance that this guy could have a gun in his flip flops.
Because that's where it'll have to be. It was gonna have to be in there.
I'm about to make sure that he's the casualty and not me, and I'm going. It's almost as if though the black man was not a threat, but that was too much for the officer to be able to accept because he's already programmed in his mind. And when I point my weapon at you, I am supposed to shoot.
Yeah, I think, and I do.
And what happened to, you know how these people are, I was watching Criminal Minds the other day, and it was a girl about to kill her friends in the elevator. And, I mean, she's literally 5 seconds away from doing it, and the cop, rather than killing her, he just shoots her in the leg. What happened to cops shooting you where it's immobilizing you versus killing you?
Well,
why are they so quick to
because
kill
they
you?
want to kill, and the big excuse is that, well, if you shoot him in the leg, that doesn't necessarily. If he has a gun, then he can still, and it only takes 1.45 seconds, and you can be dead. And
they
want to kill. They want to kill.
They're trained to kill, and many of them want to kill.
They want to kill.
I can't even kill a lizard. I don't even know how people find it in their heart to just be able to kill someone in cold blood and then justify themselves.
They want to kill.
So you got to remember that the Ku Klux Klan is not as popular as it once was, and if you join it, you know they don't march down the street like they used to. It's not as part of the culture.
No, they drive down the street.
But
in your neighborhood and patrol your neighborhood.
But at some point, but at some point, I think this was in the 60s, the head of the Ku Klux Klan made a statement. I wish I had his name and I had it verbatim, but you can go and research it, that overtly being racist as Klan members is no longer the thing. The future is that we will raise our young boys to join local police departments and to join the fire departments as well, but they'll still be able to carry out the same objectives that they carried out as Klansmen back in the 50s and the 40s, but it will be legal
and justified
for them to murder black people.
Right.
And that's what you're dealing with when it comes to a lot of these police officers.
Right. Then let me ask you this. What are some of the challenges that you face as a community activist to get people on board and try to change that discourse between police officers and the community?
Some of the challenges that we face or have faced in the past is to see our community, or is to have our community to face reality.
Okay.
To really see what position we're in this country. But I think the more and more these shootings are shown through modern technology, and even the children, 8, 9, 10 years old, are watching this. And it's literally traumatizing a lot of our children.
It is.
It's actually becoming, I don't say easier, but people are a lot more open to concepts like, you know what, I'm about to take my money out of Chase Bank and put my bank into a black bank. They're more open to concepts like, you know what, we need to start the process of becoming a nation within the nation where we govern ourselves. Ideas that were radical 5 years ago, 10 years ago, now, like 10 years ago, when you talked about outfitting every police officer in America with a body camera, that was radical 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now, not only is it not radical, they're suggesting it, and then we realizing that that's not even working.
Yeah, no, because all they do is turning them off.
Right. So it's the mentality.
They need to get some type of punishment for that.
It's the mentality that we have that's the biggest obstacle. And, you know, when you look at how it's very easy for us to ridicule one another. For instance, I was talking about Unity Bank and the Black Bank, and I'm telling people, go open up your account at the Black Bank, but don't walk in the Black Bank looking underneath the rug, trying to see if you see, you know, spider web. You know, don't be overly critical. That's how we are with one another.
Right.
It goes back to our purview of our hip hop artists and our rappers. However, when you get a young white boy like Dylan Roof, who comes into a church in South Carolina and just mows down our people. They're in the church. And you have black folk coming out saying, you know, we forgive him.
No, not in the church. That's
You forgive him. First of all, he ain't even asked for your forgiveness.
And he ain't even been punished. He haven't even faced the so-called jury
Will,
of his peers.
He
yet.
didn't even ask for your forgiveness. He don't want it. But
condition.
But you have your Aunt Mary who stole $32 out of your daddy's cigarette case back in 1972, and you ain't forgave her yet.
She's still a thief.
Right.
Don't you bring her over. You done forgot why you were even beefing with her. It's been so long. See, so when it comes to one another, we want to hold on to the negativity.
It's just like like black-owned businesses. If you have a bad experience, one or two bad experiences with a black-owned business, that's why I don't fuck with niggas. That's why I don't shop.
Right.
They look. They get on all
Right.
this social media. That's why I don't mess with niggas, and that's why I don't shop and da da da.
Right. That's why I don't.
Yeah, but you go to Subway and they got your order wrong. I don't know how many times. You go to Walmart and they shortchange you, or you go do business with such and such carpet layers and They shortened your carpet or brought the wrong color carpet out, and you had your wedding the same day, and now you got an orange carpet and you got a white wedding, but you gonna forgive that, but you gonna go right back and do business with another white business or another whatever type of business.
When is the last time?
When it comes to black businesses, like you said, we're overly critical and we ain't got no patience.
When is the last time you seen a white person get bad service at a white-owned business and walk out and say, "I never go to a white-owned business again. I'll never do it again."
No. Let's keep it real. That's why I don't fuck with crackers, because that's why I don't fuck with crackers. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't fuck with them. White people don't say that.
No, they don't.
But this is one of them things this is the thing that black people do though.
Yeah.
That's because many black people get their programming from the white media.
Right.
It's just like with the Nation of Islam. It's the same thing with the Black Panther Party. They allowed the government to distance them, the white media to distance them from the Black Panther Party, to distance them from Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan has done more to uplift black men, black families in America than damn near all these Christian pastors combined. Okay, let's put it out there for real.
That's right.
This man has got more brothers off dope than most of these programs that you go to get off drugs and stuff. This man has rehabilitated more addicts, put more people to work, made men responsible caregivers, fathers, but he ain't gonna get no credit. We can't give him that credit.
We gonna demonize him.
We gonna demonize him. If he say one or two things, we gonna call him out like that, and we gonna get these old step and fetch it Christian pastors, especially the black ones, and we gonna make sure that they don't want to have nothing to do with them.
That's right.
But that's what we do, because we still taking our information from our oppressor. Like, what person do you know? What group of people do you know that allows their oppressor to tell them how to act, who to like, who to be friends? We allow our oppressor to tell us who we should be friends with, who we should like. We shouldn't like Farrakhan. Well, I ain't gonna like. We shouldn't like black people. You don't say nothing about that Black Lives Matter. You better get away from that. You ain't gonna. They're gonna look at you crazy.
Right.
There's a lot of us out there, I ain't gonna say all of us, but there's a lot of us out there who are totally screwed in the head.
Right.
And
And that's the biggest barrier. It's the mentality. But there is a saying that says that many lessons that are not taught in blood are soon forgotten. And right now, we're receiving some bloody lessons. Alton
Everybody
Sterling,
crying.
bloody lesson. Philando Castile, bloody lesson. Mike Brown, bloody lesson. See, and see, the Bible says it like this. It talks about the dry bones in the valley and how the bones were separated. And God tells the prophet, prophesy to the bones. The bones ain't trying to hear what the prophet trying to say, because the bones, they party, they got things to do.
Right.
So God said, okay, they won't listen to you. Now prophesy to the winds. See, the wind represent trouble, tribulation, adversity. And that's what all these police killings represent in this country. That's what the job market represents in this country. That's what the empty educational system represents in this country. The winds is blowing and it's causing the dry bones to come together.
The winds are blowing and the dry bones are coming together. Now, real quick, how can people join your movement?
You can join my movement. First of all, you can follow me on Instagram at Deric Muhammad, Twitter at Deric Muhammad.
Now,
Deric Muhammad
can you
on
tell me
Facebook.
what I spelled Deric? Because he had to tell me earlier. It's not the typical way.
It's spelled a little differently. DericMuhammad, Deric Muhammad. And go to the No More Bloodshed page. NoMoreBS.org is the website. And that's a movement where we're collectively coming together and we're going to war on all fronts to stop the violence, not only in the community here in Houston, but all across the country. NOI.org for those of you who are interested in the Nation of Islam, who want to learn a little something about what it is that changed Malcolm, that changed Muhammad Ali, Minister Farrakhan, and countless other great men in this country.
Well, man, I really do appreciate you for coming out, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Deric Muhammad. Well, y'all, it's been a pleasure. It's been a thrill to let you know how I feel. Some may grit and picture fit, but the watch on my wrist say that's all you're going to get. Until next time, y'all be good. If you can't be good, be great. No more talk.
Peace.